Hi and welcome to Movies Suck. Well, here I was, minding my own business, going about my daily routine when I came across this story. Apparently, Jenny Slate quit Netflix's Big Mouth, citing animated character's race. Oh my god, in this picture she looks like she's some sort of mixed race, because she's got a bit of colour on her, but it might have just been a very nice day. She's probably just been out sunbathing or something. Let's read the story though, because this is rather amusing and crazy. So, Jenny Slate, who voices Missy in Netflix's Big Mouth series, announced she's quitting the role because the character is biracial. That's right. She has two different coloured parents. Slate made the announcement in a lengthy Instagram post. Oh dear God. It begins. I have come to the decision today that I can no longer play the character of Missy on the animated TV show Big Mouth. Slate continued, at the start of the show I reasoned with myself that it was permissible for me to play Missy, because her mom is Jewish and white, as am I. But Missy is also black, and black characters on an animated TV show should be played by black people. Well, you just said her mother is white. I assume her father is black, therefore she's not technically black, is she? She's as much white as she is black, so therefore can be played by either race. Or maybe this character can only be played by a mixed race person, specifically someone who is mixed raced, the mother being white Jewish and the father being, well, I don't know, but I'm assuming black. But that's how it is these days. You have to be the exact right racial makeup to play a character that you're just voicing rather than physically embodying on the screen. Interesting. So these days, what matters is that you fit the nature of the character that you're playing to a T. I will no longer be able to watch superhero cartoons unless the people playing those characters have those specific powers. I will not watch The Flash unless that person can harness the Speed Force. It's just not any good enough anymore. Whoever plays Batman better be able to save Gotham City. And if Gotham City doesn't bloody exist, they better make it exist, because these things have to really exist for them to be portrayed upon the screen. They have to be. It's the only way this can be done. There is no other way, as proven by this utter stupid nonsense. So, she carries on. I acknowledge how my original reasoning was flawed, that it existed as an example of white privilege. She's white, therefore she must be privileged. I don't know her, I have no idea about her life, but I assume what with her skin colour, because you can tell everything, every single little thing about a person by their skin colour. That's the only thing that's important. When you look in a room of people, what you should be looking for is their skin colour. Nothing else should be jumping out at you. Nothing about how they look, the colour of their eyes, how they walk, their accents, how they speak. None of this stuff is important. What you should be paying attention to is their skin colour. It is the only thing that is relevant. And by their skin colour, you can tell exactly the worth of that person, as acknowledged by people like Jenny Slate. Reasoning is unarguable. Absolutely perfect. Can't argue with this. Makes complete sense. All white people are privileged. Next time you pass a white person homeless on the street begging for money, because who knows what horrible thing has befell them in their life that has caused them to be in that position, whether it be drugs, just any other simple thing like not being able to pay the rent because they lost their job and suddenly they were kicked out of their home and they had nowhere to go, so they're on the street and they can't get another job because they're on the street. No, forget about that. That person is a privileged motherfucker. And you better ignore that person and say, yeah, buddy, I'd give you money, but you're too goddamn privileged. Just get on with yourself. Go on. Jesus Christ, these people wandering around here begging for money and being white at the same time. Fuck them. Yeah, this is where we are in the world today. So, an example of white privilege and unjust allowances made within a system of societal white supremacy. And that in me playing Missy, I was engaging in the act of erasure of black people, Slate stated. She lives in a system of societal white supremacy. Wow. I would like to know where she lives, because this would be an interesting study. How is this country any different from, say America or England or France or any of those other, Western European style countries? Because this is a country of white supremacy that she lives in. And I am very curious to see what it's like. And why isn't she a white supremacist? If she was brought up, in a white supremacist country, you'd have thought she'd been brought up as a white supremacist, but she appears to not be a white supremacist. It's rather curious. I'm very interested to hear what country this is. If any of you guys know where she lives, and you can let me know so I can look into it, because I'm very interested to research this subject. She then added, oh, sorry, I was about to jump to she then added, but she was engaging in the erasure of black people. She has been out there with a giant rubber, finding black people to rub out. That's what she's been doing. It's a sad, sad state of affairs that we live in, with all these white supremacist people out there with giant rubbers rubbing out black people. Maybe they're rubbing their skin color off so they're all turning white. I don't know. I don't know what the hell she's doing, but she's erasing them, ceasing their existence. That's what she's out there doing. I mean, that's scary. I'm glad she stopped, because, don't go erasing black people. Or any other colour people. If you're a black person, don't go out there and start erasing white people. I know it's hard, because if you're using erasers on them, they're probably going to just go extra white, be turning people into albinos or something. I don't know. But nevertheless, this is important stuff. Let's pay attention to anything more she has to say. Let's see. She then added, ending my portrayal of Missy is one step in a lifelong process of uncovering the racism in action. This is her racism she's talking about. And she's trying not to be a racist. We should all support this. We should all support Jenny Slate fighting against her own inert racism. The racism she holds deep in her heart, that she's attempting to get past and, see beyond colour. She's trying to see beyond it now. But only... Well, no, sorry, I said see beyond colour. She's trying to see the colour. I mean, previously she probably never paid attention to what colour people were, but she's realised that she really needs to concentrate on what colour people are. None of this ignoring, like, the race, the creed, the colour, none of that. You got to start paying a lot more attention to these things if you want to get by in this modern society. Don't start looking at your black next door neighbour as just your next door neighbour who you might get along with great, might hate, I don't know. But don't start, just think of them as you're black. So pay attention to that. And the one on the other side, maybe they're Chinese, maybe they're yellow. Just make sure you pay attention to the fact that that Chinese person is yellow. Make sure you pay attention to the fact that that person is probably Chinese. I mean, they might have been born in a European country, but you can't just ignore this. You can't just live your life meeting people who are other people who are just great people because they're people. That's not good enough anymore. Got to look deeper than that. Well, okay, maybe not too much deeper, just like skin deep. That's about it. Or surface deep. Yeah, just don't look deep into anything. Don't try to learn more about people. Just, observe the external features. As I look back on the nature and emergence of my own voice in comedy, I know that I have made mistakes along the way. I can't change the past, but I can take accountability for my choices. Well done, Jenny Slate. Well done. You quit those jobs. I don't want to see you doing any other work. Not ever. Because you're a white supremacist. Or at least you were a white supremacist. You're trying not to be a white supremacist because you come from a white supremacist country. So you're working hard at this. But you're going to have to work a bit harder by, cancelling yourself properly. I don't want to ever hear of your name or see your face ever again. If I see this face around the place, I'm going to have to just pretend she doesn't exist. Because, that's what she's trying to do. And I want her to live her dream. I want everyone to live their dream. I want all of you people to live your dreams. Even if your dream is to make yourself not exist. Interesting. She then stated, I will continue to engage in meaningful anti-racist action, to be thoughtful about the messages in my work, to be curious and open to feedback, and to do my best to take responsibility for the way I am part of the problem. She is part of the problem. Don't you hear what she says? She is a major part of the problem. She comes from a white supremacist country. How could she not be a major part of the problem? I mean, this is serious stuff. There is a white supremacist country out there somewhere. There is. And we should all be pointing fingers at them. Pointing fingers at that country. All you guys in America, you gotta find out where this place is and point fingers at them. I'm gonna do that over here. I'm gonna go around telling everybody I know, there's a white supremacist country out there somewhere. This Jenny Slater comes from a white supremacist country. And we're gonna point fingers at it. We're gonna say, you guys need to buck up a bit. Start noticing the colour of everyone's skin. This is what you got to do these days. It's not good enough to just notice that there are people out there, and those people have value because they're people. They are individuals. They are individuals with their own feelings, their own dreams, their own abilities, their own skills, their own inner greatness. But you got to ignore that. That's not important. What's important is, you guys know by now, I mentioned it a few times, Jenny Slater can't help but talk about it. Well, what would you expect, considering where she comes from? Slate concluded, most importantly though, to anyone that I've hurt, I'm so very sorry. Black voices must be heard. Black lives matter. Yes, they do. And Jesus Christ, girl, I cannot believe it took you this long to figure that out. I mean, black lives do matter. This is not a joke, actually, for this part of the video. This is an extremely serious thing. Black lives do matter. Jewish lives, like her mother, or like her, I think she's probably Jewish, maybe she's only part Jewish, who knows, but anyway, they matter. White people's lives, they matter, although I don't actually know that many white people. Most people that are referred to as white are generally kind of like whitey pink, sometimes even brown, but that's not the point anyway, or kind of olive. But nevertheless, that's not the point. Their lives matter. Chinese people's lives, who are the yellow people, by the way, in case anyone's missing that particular racial stereotype, they matter. Brown people's lives matter. But black lives certainly do matter. Now let's see what else there is to learn on this amazing page of important stuff that I had no idea about. White supremacists, who the hell knew? Following Slate's announcement to exit the show, creators Nick Kroll, Andrew Goldberg, Mark Levin and Jennifer Flackett issued a statement detailing they regretted casting a white actress and vowed to cast a black actress to play Missy. Whoa, hang on a second. Whoa there, horsey. Nick Kroll, Andrew Goldberg, Mark Levin and Jennifer Flackett issued a statement detailing that they regretted casting a white actress. They just regret casting a white actress on the whole? I mean, Jesus Christ. That is pretty severe. That's a hell of a step in the wrong direction, just regretting casting someone of a colour. That's serious stuff. I mean, I'm glad that they want to cast a black actress, even to play this character who isn't a black character. That's not the point. I don't see why. I mean, surely they want to cast an actress who is, mixed race. Half white Jewish female and half black male. I assume black male. I'm not going to specify that because they didn't specify that on here. He might not be black. He might be, just brown or some other persuasion. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe he's Native American. I don't know. You could get this color from anywhere. So, nevertheless, they had great ideas there. I agree with them. Doing well there, except for the fact that they decided they don't like white women. Why would they hate white women so much? What's the problem? They don't want to ever cast white women again. Well, that's pretty serious stuff. Maybe they're from a black supremacist country, so they don't like. They need to learn the same lesson that Jennifer Slater learned. Jenny Slater learned the lesson about looking at color. They need to do the same. They need to start the opposite way around. Maybe meet somewhere in the middle. Statement reads, after a thoughtful discussion with us and our black collaborators. Black collaborators? What does that mean? Jenny Slate has decided, and we wholeheartedly agree, that Missy on Big Mouth should be voiced by a black actor. Why a black actor? That doesn't make any sense. This is a mixed race. Why a black? I don't get it. That's a bit strange. It continues, we sincerely apologize and regret our original decision to cast a white actor to voice a biracial character. We made a mistake and took our privilege for granted, and we're working hard to do better moving forward by doing the exact opposite of moving forward and casting a black person to play what is essentially a half-white person. It says, we are proud of the representation that Missy has offered cerebral, sensitive women of colour. Hang on a second. Do these people realise that white is a colour? I mean, oh right, it's a reflection of all colour, but it's still a colour. They seem to be a bit confused. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't think they know what they're talking about. And we plan to continue that representation and further grow Missy's character as we recast a new black actor. They're doing it again. I obviously need to learn something from this story as well. Maybe you guys can point it out to me. What is it I'm missing? They then thanked Slate. We thank Jenny for her decision and for creating with us an inspiring, compassionate and very human character, and look forward to being able to explore Missy's story with an even greater authenticity in the years to come. By, going the entire opposite direction and still not representing the character properly. But that's by the by. We'll see. This is Movie Sucks signing out, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.